Okay, hi everyone. Hi there. Can you write in the chat if you can hear and see me well? Could you write yes? Okay. Yeah, everyone, can you hear? Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your replies. Okay, perfect. So we are about to start our webinar on 7 tips on how to tackle IELTS reading tasks. Before we start, just while everyone else is joining, could you just type in the chat where you are from, which cities and countries you are from? If Kiev or other places. Dnipro, cool. Okay, where else do we have? Oh, all right, Tiraspol. Okay, cool. Another country already. Indonesia, welcome. Great. Anyone else from a different place? Yeah, so we are about to start in a couple of minutes. Boryspil, thank you. Donetsk, So is anyone from Kiev? Actually, that's interesting. Maybe I will be alone. That would be fantastic. Okay. Yeah, some more people are joining. Indonesia, Boryspil. Okay, fine. Well, probably no one else wants to join, wants to share, yeah, their whereabouts. Then let's start. I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. So my name is Anfisa Kramarenko, and I'm teaching here at Great Education Center. We are right here in our building, in the building of our educational center. And I've been working with GRADE for almost 6 years, and generally I've been teaching for almost 13 years. And teaching IELTS for many years, like more than 6. So generally, I'm a certified teacher. I have CELTA certificate and other certificates like C2 proficiency or CPE, and of course IELTS. Our team, great team, has been working with this test for a long time. And just a second, I will share the screen. So when new people are coming, okay, great. Right, good job. So we've been working in the sphere of IELTS preparation, our great team, for a long time, quite a long time. And we've done a lot of research, and we've prepared thousands of students for this test. And now we're also working on another area in this sphere, and this is our online platform. We've also designed an online course on IELTS preparation. It's a self-study preparation where you can learn alone on your own. It's a complete IELTS academic self-study course. There are 4 components: listening, reading, which we are going to talk about today, writing and speaking. I will tell you a bit more about our platform and this preparation course at the end of the webinar, after we discuss our top 7 tips on the reading, IELTS reading. Yes, and I will also give you a bonus, which is a promo code with a discount So if you or any of your friends get interested in the course, you will be able to buy it at a discount. But this all will be after we discuss the main thing for our today's webinar, which is, of course, how to tackle IELTS reading tasks. Okay, so some more people have joined while I was talking about our team. And I think we can, and more people are still joining, more people are still coming. That's great. Okay. So, but generally, I think we can already start with reading. And the first important tip that I'm going to give you will be about time, related to time. As you know, every test is limited in time, and IELTS test as well. And the reading section, in the reading section, you have 60 minutes, only 60 minutes altogether for the whole section. That's not much, taking into account the text the passages are. So there are 3 passages or 3 sections, and usually people think that, well, 60 minutes divided by 3, that makes 20 minutes per section. But this may be a misconception. And when you start practicing, when you take the IELTS test, when you do practice tests, you realize that these passages vary in terms of difficulty. And therefore, the distribution of time should be different. So the first passage is usually easier than the other 2, and we should spend about 15-17 minutes on it. Yeah, then 20 minutes on the second one, and about 23-25 minutes on the last one, because the last one is usually the most challenging passage. So if you spend 20 minutes on the first passage, it's very unlikely that you will have time to answer all 40 questions in the reading test. That's why during your preparation and of course during the test, please manage your time accordingly. You will see the clock, so either on the computer or on the wall somewhere, yeah, depending on what type of test you are taking, computer version or paper-based. Manage your time accordingly. Yeah, if this is a paper-based test, there is one more tip in terms of time management. And this is connected with the fact that in the IELTS test, in the reading test, you don't have any extra time to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. Yeah, once again, we are talking, for those who have just joined, we are talking about paper-based in this particular moment. So there's no extra time to copy your answers from the booklet onto the answer sheet, and therefore you might lose time, and people ask, okay, so when should I copy? Should I leave myself some 10 minutes closer to the end, yeah? Or how should I do this? The best thing to do it is to copy your answers after each passage. So you do the first passage, copy the answers, the second, copy, and the third. In this way, you secure your answers, yeah, from just remaining on the answer booklet. So we started with the most basic thing, which is about time management, but it's really, really important, and I'd say it's crucial sometimes, yeah, for the test, because we're talking about exam conditions. The next important, also very basic, very structural tip is to read for the test, not for pleasure. What I mean here is sometimes people start reading passages slowly as if they are reading in real life. But this isn't the case during the test. In the test, you read because you have a question, 40 questions to be exact. Yes, so if you have a question, if you have a task, you should read in a different way. This can be compared slightly to a real-life situation when you read an instruction, for example, on how to take certain pills, yeah, or use something, use a gadget. So you quickly look through the instruction. You don't read every single word, but you look for the information which you need because you have the task. Yeah? The same can be said about the task. Don't read for pleasure, read for the question. And in this respect, we have 3 types of reading skills, different reading strategies and techniques, I'd say, yeah, which can help you during the test. These are skimming, scanning, and reading for detail. We will now take a look at every technique. So skimming is reading for gist or for general idea. So to understand the main idea of the passage. You read quickly when you skim the text, you focus on main ideas in each paragraph, and you usually pay attention to the key words, such as nouns, verbs, adjectives that carry meaning. Now, we will try to do it together with you. And here is our task. This is a piece of text. Okay, yeah, get attentive right now. You're going to do some job right now, not only listen, but read, practice your reading skills. So we're going to skim this piece of text quickly. It is about driverless cars, automatic control vehicles, yeah, driverless cars. The task is to skim the text and understand what's the main idea behind it. What is it about? Just very quickly, around 30 seconds. Okay, go. You can type your answers in the chat. Could you please switch off the sound and type in the chat if you want to say something? No? I'm sorry, could you? Okay, someone has already given the answer. Benefits of using. Right, advantages of automated driving. Exactly, excellent. Okay, so you're good at skimming, I can see that. Now, another thing that we are going to do here is to answer the question. So we have skimmed the text. We understand what it is about. You are absolutely right. You've given the right answers. Now you can answer the question, like which information is contained in this section? 1, 2, or 3? Yeah, mention of several advantages, a suggestion that the use of driverless cars may have an effect on the number of vehicles on the roads, or reference to the opportunity of choosing the most appropriate vehicle for each trip. So, which do you think, 1, 2, or 3, which information is contained in this section? We've got some answers coming, cool. And this is number 1, and that's correct, once again, yeah? Yeah, right, ladies, great job, Elena, Anna, I'm sure many other people have already, okay, Ina, yeah. So that is the first one. See what happens. When you skim, you pay attention to only keywords, but this allows you already to answer some IELTS questions. Now let's turn to another type of reading, which is scanning. Scanning involves reading quickly, searching for the same words and meanings, and identifying where the answer is. Okay? So scanning, we use scanning, which comes from the word scan, to locate information in the text. Usually we do this with some names, names or names of institutions, people, or anyone else. For instance, here in the question, we had the name of an agency, Transport Research Laboratory, and we scanned the passage and we found a place where it goes about Transport Research Laboratory. We also used the word safety. It was also there. So this is how we scan for information. Right now, I can't show you the huge text, the huge passage, but generally you understand the meaning of this activity. After you have found the place, it's time to read for detail. The third type of our reading technique, reading for detail. It involves reading carefully, finding the same meaning, and answering the question. So here is the question again. And I want you to read carefully and actually find out the answer. So what's the answer to this particular question? What's missing? Also pay attention to the number of words you can use. When ready, type your answers. Human error, Oksana, okay. Okay, Paulina, the same answer. All right, yeah, I think the rest will also be the same. Let's take a look. Right, so this was the right answer, and it is human error over here. Yeah, and we found the answer just because we read it carefully, read the text carefully. We have here road collisions in the passage, and in the question we have the word accidents. They have the same meaning. This is about finding the same meaning, but a bit different form. Yeah. And also the word factor is synonymic to the word due to, because when something happens because of something, due to something, there is a factor which influences, yeah? Not direct synonyms, but the same meaning. So great job done with this, this type of tip. Okay, now we're moving on to the next recommendation, next tip, which is using the same words to locate information and the same meanings to answer questions. Basically, what happened just now is we did it. We located information using the same words, and then we found the answer, human error, using paraphrasing, the same meaning but in different words. Because very often people say, okay, in the IELTS test or in any other test, focus on synonyms. Don't look at the same words. We need to think about both things. Same words will help us to find the information, and similar meanings will help us to find the answer to questions. So both skills are important. For instance, we've got a question. When discussing the definition of exploration, the writer argues that, da-da-da. And here is the passage. Now, which words from the passage and the question are the same? Which words are the same? They help us to find the locate information immediately. Okay, anyone? So which words, same words, help us locate information immediately? I think you are looking like too far maybe into the passage. Let's take a look, yeah? So these are the words, definition of the exploration, yeah? They are at the beginning of the paragraph. In the passage, we find these words. And now we understand that this paragraph contains the answer to this question. And then we will already use the same meanings, not the same words, but the same meanings. For instance, here is the question. When discussing the definition, the writer argues that A, B, C, or D. So read the paragraph and find the answer right now. All right, some answers are coming. Let's take a look. Okay. C, B. Okay. What other ideas will be there? Maybe. Or someone else supporting C or B. Okay, no one else. A, this one has changed over time. D, wow, there are all of them. That's interesting. I think you know why it happened. I think because, so today we are talking generally about tips for any kinds of IELTS reading questions. Yeah? In our course, we deal with every single type of question. And I'll tell you what, so if you are familiar a little bit, yeah, with the format of the test, these are multiple choice questions. So you have a question and several options to choose from. And one of the strategies that we give is to answer the question first and only then to look at the options. So first find the answer in the passage and then look at the options. I think this is the reason for such a confusion. So have a look. The correct answer is C, because it's paraphrased in the passage. People tend to relate exploration to their own professional interests. And it's the same that each definition tends to reflect the field, the area of endeavor, of work, of attempts of each pioneer. Pioneer, it's a person who is trying to explore something. Yeah? And some of you chose D. Maybe because you were distracted by the same words, historians and scientists. Yeah, there are two examples, one about historian, another one about a scientist. So that brings us back to our tip, which is when you try to answer questions, you pay attention to same meanings. When you find the answer, same words. When you try to answer, same meanings. And an additional recommendation, additional tip that is not in this presentation, in our today's webinar, but still, if you deal with multiple choice questions, it's better, it's better to, first of all, to answer, to look at the stem of the question only, and find the answer in the passage. And only then to look at the options, because in this way you don't get distracted. Okay, let's move on. So tip number 4 will be dealing with unknown words. Now I know, and my colleagues know that many candidates and many of our students, they suffer when they see unknown words. And in the IELTS test, there are lots of terms coming from different areas, different fields. You may have to read about some technical things, about some biological developments or processes, and you can't be an expert in each field. It's impossible. That's why we need some strategies to deal with unknown words. And here we can use, well, sometimes we ignore them. Maybe you know this tip, and it's good. Very often it works because we don't need to know every single word to answer the questions. And sometimes we just ignore them. But in other cases, sometimes we need to understand what they mean, at least approximately. In this case, we have to think about the word itself or the context, or maybe both. So first we will look at one example where we work with the word itself. Here is an example, a question about, from a text, from a passage about Shanghai and about its architecture, how Shanghai is built, is being built and continues to be built. Here is a sentence though. The architect Gulan Li explains that high-rise construction is unsustainable in Shanghai because of its hybrid architectural style, or of the subsidence cost, or because of the impact on public transport. Now, I suspect that there are at least 2 words in all this thing that you are not familiar with, may not be familiar with. This is unsustainable and subsidence. So the word unsustainable is, so to say, an easy nut to crack. What part of speech is it? What is it? Noun, adjective, adverb, verb? Right, it's an adjective. And is it positive or negative? Does it have a positive or a negative meaning? Negative, exactly, right. So this is something bad, if we come to a very primitive option. So the architect thinks and explains that high-rise construction is bad in Shanghai, and now why? For what reason it is bad? Let's deal with this word, which is a little bit more complicated, subsidence. Some of you may know the word. If you don't, let's try to guess. So what does the prefix sub mean to you? What does it mean, sub? Any ideas? Under, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So something which is under. And is this word, this noun, do you think it's a person or process? Person or process? Process. And what does the word caused? So next to this word substance, there's a word caused. What does it mean? Lead to. Excellent, excellent. Okay, let's take a look what we've got. So we have this meaning under down. We have process, for example, going down, if we already take into account sub. Yeah, and we have something like lead to or be the reason for. So the high-rise construction is bad in Shanghai because if it is B, yeah, because something there is something which causes to go down, yeah, something to go down. So it's a very general meaning, but it's absolutely enough. And now I want you to find in the text where the clue is. So this is the right answer. Yeah, it's like we're going from another, yeah, in another order. You know, we have the answer. Now we have to find the clue. So if you find it, just type in the chat. What's the clue in the text for this subsidence thing? The last sentence. So you mean this severe ground settlement, yeah? Yes, the last sentence, and actually at the beginning also, that like the ground condition is soft, it means that it can easily go down, yeah, also. And then we have this, that results in extremely severe ground settlement, subsidence. So this is how we tackled the word which we hadn't known before, but we just used logic. Yeah, we used the word itself. We tried to analyze it, and sometimes it helps. Here we have negative meaning and part of speech. Here we use the meaning of the suffix, prefix. Now, let's move on to another tip. The same tip, but another technique. So before we talked about word itself, and now we will talk about context, using context to guess. So here you have a picture. I just decided to make it slightly easier. You don't have pictures in the IELTS test, but still, here we've got one. And this is a picture of nutmeg. Nutmeg is a kind of spice. If you're keen on spices, like cinnamon, pepper, yeah, so this is another kind of spice, which is nutmeg. And the passage is about the nutmeg tree. Not an easy nut to crack, yeah, isn't it? So you can see there are lots of words which basically may be unknown, totally unknown to an average IELTS candidate, like this encased, husk, ripe, reach, crimson. So different kinds of terms. And at first sight, you may be just scared. But then what we can do is use other words that we know, and this will help us tackle the questions. Let's take a look. So we will use context. It's the same piece of text, and here, to understand what for each is, we can use the word tree, which we obviously know. So tree is with something, this, and then we have dark green over leaves. Yeah. which is something like a paraphrasing of this. So basically the context tells us that this word foliage is the same as leaves. We move forward and we see this sentence with three unknown words. Well, maybe you know these words, but maybe you don't. Yeah, usually students don't, if they are intermediate or another level. Yeah, but they obviously know the words fruit, is, in, and this is very important. So we know that the fruit is located, yeah, in something. And when the fruit is this something, it's the same, husk and husk. Yeah, there's something in two halves. Maybe you don't know the verb split even, yeah, but in two halves you can understand there are two halves. So something happens, it's divided into two pieces. Yes, so this is how we use context of primitive words. These are usually nouns, verbs, prepositions. Yes, some relative pronouns, which we know. Again, preposition, demonstrative pronouns. So we use the way the text is organized to understand the meaning. Now, using this, let's answer the question. Here is the question. You have to use one word in the gap. What will the word be? We've got two answers already. Husk, yeah, exactly. So guys, does anybody know right now what husk is? Do you know, or you still don't know what husk is? Okay, right. Somebody probably looked up in a dictionary, but some people don't know still. And you don't need to know. But we have found the answer to the question, and that's our aim. So use context and use words itself to find the meaning of the words, to guess, yeah, and to answer the question. That's it. Later, when you come home, you can find out what husk is. I mean, come home from the exam. You didn't look up. You guessed from the context. Wow, that's even better. Or you knew before, Oksana. Maybe you had known before we even started talking about it. Or guessed from context. It's interesting. Just guessed. Yeah? Okay, cool. So you see, that's amazing. This is how it works. Now, our fifth strategy will be GPS, using GPS or just navigating the text. And in this navigation, we will use logic of the text and linking in the text. So it's somehow connected with our previous tip, which was about guessing from context. Here we also guess, but we think not about meaning of isolated words, but we focus on the meaning, general meaning of the text itself, especially when we have questions about opinions, attitudes, yeah? So this tip, this very tip, it helps us work with writers' opinions and attitudes with main ideas. My question to you right now is to read this paragraph quickly and answer this question. Which word signals that now you will read the main idea of the paragraph, of this paragraph? Which word signals that there will be the main idea now? Please. Thus, interesting. And where is thus? Okay, any other ideas? The fact is very close. Okay. You can write even like a phrase, maybe. I can't find the word thus, actually. It's interesting. That doesn't take us very far away from the fact. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. So it's fine, Pauline. Don't worry. So, guys, I think you are all here talking about the same thing, and that's the word however. After it, we have the phrase which was typed by Olena and Tatiana. However, that doesn't take us away from the fact that doesn't take away from the fact that. Yeah? And here we have the main idea of the paragraph. So in your own words, before we look at the options, what is the main idea, writer's point about explorers in this paragraph? Yeah. Now we see where the main idea is. What is it? In your own words. People of all kinds of professions are eager to learn more. Okay. Yeah, I'd go along with that one. Nice paraphrasing, Elena. Exploration, and Rosanna, exactly what about? Because the whole passage is about exploration. What is the author's idea about exploration here? Okay, anyone else? There's much to learn and explore in different fields. Exploration may happen every day, yes. Try something new every day, and everything new, okay, you are facing. And who are the explorers? What's the author's point about who the explorers are? Some mysterious people, humans, some particular humans, or all of us? Okay. Only professionals. Are you sure? Type of human seeking something new, right? And what we all have this inquiring instinct. Yeah? And everybody, yeah. So let's take a look right now. Here is the question, the exam question. And there are 4 options. So this time we did it right. You see, we found the answer in the text, identified it exactly, and only now we are looking at the options. So which option is correct? A, B, C, or D? What's the writer's view of explorers? Really? Do they tend to be more attracted to certain professions? Where is it? Yeah, it's C, absolutely. Yes. Because we all have this instinct. In all sorts of professions, not certain, but all sorts of professions. Exactly. So that's C. This is how it works. Okay, so we've used the logic and linking. And one more example of the same strategy, the same type of GPS in the text using its logic and linking. In this piece of text, which words help you follow the writer's idea? Pay attention to how the argument is developed. There are many words, not one word, but more than one, more than two words, which help you sort of see how the writer's point is developing. I just want you to put them into the chat. Previously, we had the word however, and here there are some other ones. Some answers are coming, but okay, could be. But that still left me, Think back though, very nice, think back though. Yeah, so over here we have to think back, and then though the truth is that. Let's take a look at the answers. Some of the answers. So you're right, we have here, but that still left me with another problem. So there is an idea, but this idea before this sentence is, okay, not very important, yeah, for the author's opinion. And then he said, we think as if something else, though the truth is that. So we see how the author develops their point. And we should react when we read really quickly during the test. We should react to this. Okay, he makes a point, but then he changes his mind. He develops it. Yeah, we think one, we think two, but it's not the case, because though the truth is that. So after these words, we will probably read his true opinion. Let's take a look. So right now, using this logic, will you choose the right answer? So the writer refers to a golden age to suggest that. So what does the writer suggest in this paragraph? What's his main idea? A, B, C, or D? Okay, one option. Anyone else? Yes. Right. Yeah, exactly. So D. Right, that's right. Okay, yeah, guys, you're absolutely right. So we're wrong to think that exploration is no longer necessary. Though there were some ideas at the beginning like that, yeah, exploration peaked somehow in the 19th century, yeah. And during the test, you might see this sentence and think, oh yeah, it's about 19th century, it peaked, so everything's over. But if you use the logic of the paragraph, you will not let yourself to be misled, yeah, by the text. You will find the truth, yeah, what the truth is. Okay, so this was our tip number 5, and now tip number 6. I'm sure all of you know this picture, but maybe some people don't know, but I'm sure all of you know. And I chose it to illustrate one interesting point and one interesting recommendation tip, which is don't become the co-author of the text. What does it mean? So very often we use our own knowledge when answering IELTS questions. read, especially when it comes to reading. Now, tell me, is it possible that a candidate, just who came to take the test, knows more about the subject of the passage than it is written in the passage? Is it possible that a candidate knows more about the field, about the subject? For instance, the text, yeah, absolutely, it's quite possible, because maybe the candidate is biologist and the text is about some kinds of frogs and he's an expert in that. But is it useful to use this knowledge? Is it a good strategy to use this knowledge? No, yeah? They may have read a lot on this, yes, but probably it's not a good idea to use your to rely on your knowledge more than on the text, more than on the passage, because the passage may say different. Yeah, compare the text to the text. Exactly. That's right. So this is why we recommend not becoming the co-authors of the text. Yeah, just use the passage and write exactly what is there. Sometimes you can use your general knowledge, but I'll tell you what, in what case? When you're running out of time, well, things happen. Yeah, sometimes it happens. You're running out of time and some questions are unanswered and you have to do guesswork. Okay, then go for anything that you have. But if you have time to think, then use the passage. Let's just to illustrate this tip, I want you to think of the statements, looking at this photograph, to think of the statements and decide whether they are true, false, or not given. I think you know that in the test we have this type of question. So think whether they are true, false, or not given. I'll reduce a bit just to be able to show you some other things right now. So you can still see this beautiful picture. And so is it true, false, or not given? You can type, yeah, question like number 1, number 2, Okay, true, not given, false, not given. True, not given, okay. False, true, the last one. Nice. Okay, anyone else? One more person to go before we see the answers. Olin, okay, good. Let's think about it now. Yeah. So the girl in the photograph is wearing a scarf. So everyone thinks that it is true because can we see it in the photograph? Yeah. So absolutely, she's wearing a scarf and her neck and her head are covered. Okay. Now, number 2, this photograph was taken during the Afghan war. All of you, I think, yeah, like all of you said that it's not given because we don't know from the picture. Nothing tells us that it was taken during the war. So it's not given. The girl has got large dark eyes and you identified that it is false because her eyes are green. Absolutely, and you can see it in the photograph. Now there's a confusion about the last one. Some people think it's true and other people think that it's not given. Could you, those who think that it's not given, why do you think so? Why do you think it's not given? Can you type? The last one. Oh, come on. Okay, I'll help you. So guys, the author, the magazine is called National, but we don't know whether the author exactly. No signature, that's right, yeah. Even if we know, we might know that the author of this photograph, the photographer is Steve McCurry, but there is no information in the photograph. I can't read in the photo, yeah. So that's exactly what happens. Sometimes we switch on our logic, we switch on our background knowledge, and suddenly we give the answer, but it's not in the text. So don't become the co-authors of the text. That's the tip. Now, this type of question, we use the picture, not the passage, but anyway, you know that it's a common type of question in the IELTS test. And I just want to show you a bit of our platform reading section. So as I said before, we have all sections for preparation, including reading. And in it, you see a video which explains in detail how to tackle true, false, not given questions, what is the action plan, and actually what tips you can use. And you do it during the video, you pause the video and complete some tasks. And then at the end, you download strategies. IELTS reading strategies, true, false, not given. So there is an example with explanations and tips and action plan. So for each and every type of reading and listening questions, IELTS questions, our course offers this type of support. Yeah? Videos, tutorials, and PDF summaries of what was in the tutorial. Because today we are talking generally about the strategies for reading, and there you can find for each information for each type. And this brings us to the last tip, which is checking. Yeah? Trivial though it may seem at first sight, it's important because many points, yeah, you will never believe how many points are lost because of not having checked your answers. So what we can check generally, we can check instructions, we can check whether all questions are answered, or maybe there are some blank answers. And we can check spelling, because spelling is important. If there is a mistake, you don't get a point. Yeah. So in terms of instructions, usually the most problematic is how many words or numbers you can write. So always check this. And also whether you can use, if you have multiple choice, whether you can use one letter only and only once, yeah, or several times. So how many times you can use each letter. In terms of spelling and grammar, we can check, for example, how the words are spelled. This is wrong spelling. This is the right spelling of Mediterranean. You can copy from the text. You should copy from the text. So please pay attention to spelling. You can check whether grammar is okay. For example, to explore other planet will not work because after other we have to use planets, plural. Or vice versa, you will need to take helmet. You will need to take a helmet. Okay. So such things must be checked in order to avoid confusion. And as I promised at the very beginning, this is the summary of what we have been talking today with you. Manage your time, read for exam, not for pleasure, same words to locate information, same minutes to answer questions. Dealing with unknown words, GPS in the text, navigating the text using logic and linking, and not becoming co-authors, and of course checking everything. These are top 7 tips from us today on reading. And as I promised before, yeah, just a little bit more information about about our course and a promo code with a discount. So generally, I have told you how reading and listening sections in our course are organized. You get video tutorials and you get strategies, action plans, and examples in convenient PDF format. Everything is simple and super easy. Very straightforward. The examples are very straightforward, so you can understand and get the essence of each question type. Then there are speaking and writing sections. Writing section, here it says with an extensive writing practice. We paid closer attention to writing section, and actually it was the first section that we developed. We developed it in such subtle detail because we know that this is the most challenging part and students are struggling with it. Teachers are struggling, teachers who take IELTS, the IELTS test. And that's why we paid a lot of attention to writing. It consists of many things, like all types of academic tasks are dealt with. There's task analysis, there are lots of sample answers, the step-by-step guide on writing, your own reports and essays, timed writing, and checked, it is checked, sorry, there is a typo here, by an automated evaluation system. And there's lots of useful language and grammar for every single task type. And all information is collected in a knowledge bank for your convenience. And of course, feedback from IELTS experts. So the writing section is really detailed. Speaking also involves feedback from tutors, from IELTS experts, and it involves practice and sample tasks, the speaking section. So we decided to help you in these two sections a bit more in terms of human touch, in terms of feedback, because we know that here you need feedback. So if you get interested, here are the bonuses that we offer. If you register, so you can register right after the webinar on our platform. Follow the link grade-online.com. You will see it in the next slide. So when you register for a free trial, there's lots of information there in the free trial, several videos, diagnostic tests in speaking and writing, and study plans. Study plans help you organize your IELTS preparation for self-study. Then the second bonus comes if you buy the course. Of course, you get access to everything, to all 4 sections, detailed academic writing and knowledge bank. I have told you about it before. All those PDFs downloadable and lots of other stuff, useful stuff. Then if you choose the complete plan, there are 2 pricing plans, complete and basic. Just to take a look over here, yeah? So this is free trial, basic and complete. So when you choose complete, you get a full mock speaking and writing tests, which are assessed by an IELTS expert, and a detailed feedback on your performance is sent back to you together with sample answers, model answers. Plus, you get an online lesson with a certified teacher in the complete version. Now, here is our team of teachers. I haven't shown it yet to you. Okay. Now, here is our promo code. Using it, you can get 20 euros off the price for any plan, whatever the plan you choose. So if we have a look, take a look at the plans again. This is around 30 euros. If you use our promo code webinar, it will go down to 10 euros. Here it's approximately 78 and it will go down to 58 euros. Okay, so this is just for US participants. If you got interested, here is our website, gradeonline.com, and you can start your free trial right after the webinar. Do you have any questions, please? I'm ready to answer any questions that you have about IELTS reading, about the course, about the platform, just anything that you have, please do ask. Okay. So this is just while you're thinking, collecting your thoughts, you're thinking about which questions you're interested in. This platform is online, and we basically decided to create it because not all people can study in a group or with a tutor, because with a tutor it will be much more expensive, yeah, for every class. And if you study in a group, you have a fixed schedule. Yes, our course offers lots of information, really detailed, unique information designed by us, by me and my colleagues. We worked really hard on it to make your life easier. And that's why I think that it's worth using this course in order to prepare if you don't want to prepare with a teacher, with a group. So this is a very reliable way to prepare for your test. Not about IELTS, can we get the video of our webinar? I think you will, as far as I know. You will be sent the video. Anna, okay, for how long do we have the access to the platform? That's a very good question. Tamara, the access is limitless right now. We don't limit you. So you can buy now, start your preparation in November and finish it in 2021. This is not the best study plan, okay? Because it will be dragged in time, but still, if you have some circumstances, don't worry, access is limitless. I already bought this app, it's great. Oh, Palina, thank you. Cool. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. So we have our, what's the promo code again? Don't worry, don't cry, Tamara. It's webinar. You will get it again. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Thank you. Yeah, any other questions? Maybe about, yeah, thank you for coming, Tamara. Okay. Anything else? So yeah, we here haven't decided yet. Yeah, well, Ruslana, there's some time to think for you. Yeah, depends on how much time before the test. Thanks. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, you've been really responsive, answered all questions correctly and very, very quickly. Like, real good. I'm sure that all of you will succeed in the test if you haven't taken it yet, or if you're going. Thank you for joining. Brain training. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, all of us need some brain training at times. Maybe some other questions, guys. Don't feel shy. Go ahead. Now is the time to ask. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay, so people are thinking. Maybe somebody's already browsing the platform. All right. Well, if you happen to have any other questions, you can always contact us. Me and my colleagues are always available online. You can go to our platform. You can go to grade website, official grade website, and to contact us and ask any questions that you have. As far as I know, you will get an email, follow-up email after this webinar with the video and some tips. Yes, and some more information about our platform. So I wish you all the best with your preparation, with your IELTS experience and any other tests that you are going to take. Yeah, and generally with your brain training, as Elena put it, nice expression. Yeah, and I hope that today's webinar has been useful and you have found some useful tips that will skyrocket your IELTS grade. So all the best with the tests and new knowledge. And we are about to finish. It's been nice working with you guys. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tatiana. Yeah. Nice having you here today. So good luck and goodbye, everyone.